My fiancé started working late about 2 months before our wedding. This was new. Jessica had always been a 9 to 5 person. Strict boundaries between work and home. She would walk out at 5 on the dot, come home by 5:30, and we would have the evening together. That was our routine for the 3 years we had been together. Then suddenly everything changed. If you enjoy real relationship stories, hit subscribe. It started with one late night. A Tuesday in March. She texted me around 4 saying she had to stay late. Big presentation tomorrow, needed to prepare, would be home around 8. I told her no problem and made dinner for myself. She came home at 8:15, exhausted, apologetic. Kissed me, heated up the food I saved, went straight to bed. I thought nothing of it. The next week it happened again. Thursday this time. Same text, same excuse, same late arrival. Then it became routine. 2 nights a week turned into 3, then 4, sometimes 5. The excuses varied, but the pattern was identical. Text in the afternoon, promise to be home by 8 or 9, arrival closer to 10. I started eating dinner alone most nights. The meals I used to cook for both of us now, just for me. Started going to bed alone, her side cold and empty. Started planning my evenings around her absence instead of her presence. Our wedding was 6 weeks away. We should have been spending more time together, not less. Should have been excited, connected, present. Instead, I was alone most nights while she was supposedly at the office. When I mentioned it, she apologized profusely. Said work was crazy right now, that her boss was pushing hard on a new account, that once they closed this deal, things would calm down, that she knew the timing was terrible with the wedding coming up. I believed her. We were 2 months from our wedding. Invitations were sent out to 150 guests. Venue was booked, deposits paid, dress fitted. Her engagement ring sparkled on her finger every day. She was stressed about work and wedding planning simultaneously. It made sense that she was overwhelmed and stretched thin. But I started noticing other things. Small things that did not add up. She came home happier after these late nights. Not exhausted like that first time. Not drained or stressed. Energized, glowing even. Like something wonderful happened. She would walk in around 9 or 10 with this smile on her face, this lightness in her step, this energy that did not match someone who just worked 12 hours straight. I would ask how her day was. She would launch into stories about the project, about breakthroughs they had, about how well the team was working together. Her eyes would light up. Her voice would get animated. She looked happier talking about staying late at work than she did about our upcoming wedding. I asked once how work was going, really going. She said stressful but good, really good actually. The team was coming together beautifully, making real progress. She felt appreciated there, valued, like her contributions mattered. The way she said appreciated, the way she emphasized valued. It stuck with me, made me wonder who exactly was making her feel that way. She started dressing differently for work too. More effort. Better outfits. She would spend extra time on her hair and makeup on days when she texted about working late. I asked why she dressed up for late nights at the office. She laughed and said she did not, that I was imagining things, that these were just her normal work clothes. But they were not. I knew her wardrobe. These were the nice dresses, the ones she wore to dinners or important events, not regular office days. Her phone behavior changed too. She started keeping it face down. Password changed. Said she had to for work security. Would take calls in the other room. Would text with the screen angled away from me. One evening I saw her smiling at her phone. That smile. The one she used to give me. I asked what was funny. She looked up, startled. Said, "Oh, nothing, just an old friend from college reached out. Catching up." I asked which friend. She waved it off. Someone I would not know. From before we met. Went back to texting. I started feeling uneasy. One Friday she texted at 4. Working late again. Really sorry. Probably home around 9. I sat on the couch staring at that text. 9 p.m. on a Friday. Before a weekend. Before our wedding in 6 weeks. Something felt wrong. I tried calling her at 6. Straight to voicemail. Tried again at 7. Voicemail. At 8, I decided to do something I never did before. Something that made me feel paranoid and controlling even thinking about it. But I needed to know. Called her office. The main line went to an automated system after hours. I pressed 0 for the operator. It rang once, twice, 3 times. Then a click. A man answered. Deep voice, friendly, professional. Asked how he could help. I tried to sound casual. Explained I was trying to reach my fiancée, Jessica Morgan. Said it was an emergency and I just wanted to know if she was still at her desk. He said, sure, let me check the log. Asked me to hold. I heard typing, keyboard clicks. My heart was pounding. Please be there. Please be at your desk. He came back on the line. Said actually, she signed out already. Let me see here. Yeah, 5:45. Everything stopped. 5:45. She told me she would be there until 9. I thanked him. Hung up. Sat there staring at my phone. She left over 3 hours ago. Where was she? I tried calling her again. Straight to voicemail. Then something made me get up, grab my keys, drive to her office. I got there 20 minutes later. Parked in the garage, walked through the lobby. Empty except for security at the desk. Went to the parking garage levels. Found her usual spot. Her car was not there. She left hours ago. I was about to leave when I heard voices, echoing in the concrete structure. Laughter. I turned. Saw 2 people walking toward a car. A black sedan. Not hers. The woman was Jessica, my fiancée. The man next to her was tall, well-dressed, hand on her lower back, guiding her. They reached the car. He opened the passenger door for her. She looked up at him. Smiled. That smile. Said something I could not hear. He laughed, leaned down. For a second I thought he was going to kiss her. He did not. Just close. Too close. She got in his car. He closed the door, walked around. Got in the driver's side. They drove past me, 10 feet away. Neither saw me standing there. I watched the taillights disappear. I stood there with my phone in my hand. She told me she would be home at 9. Security said 5:45, 3 hours ago. I tried calling her again. Voicemail. Texted her. Asked how work was going. No response. I waited. Paced the apartment. Looked at wedding photos on the wall. Invitations on the kitchen counter. Her wedding dress hanging in the closet. Everything ready for a marriage to someone I apparently did not know. She came home at 9:30. Bright, smiling, relaxed. Humming something under her breath. She looked beautiful. Happy. Alive. Saw me sitting on the couch in the dark and her smile faltered. Died completely. Asked why I looked so upset. Why all the lights were off. I asked how work was tonight. She set her bag down. Started to launch into a story about the presentation. About how late they stayed revising slides. About how grueling it was, but they finally nailed it. About how exhausted she was from the long day. The lies came so easily, so smoothly, like she practiced them. I interrupted her mid-sentence, asked what time she left the office. She stopped, looked at me, asked why I was asking. I told her I called. Around 8. Talked to security. They said she signed out at 5:45. Her face went white. I drove there, saw her get into someone's car. 3.5 hours ago. Her face went from white to gray. All color drained. Her hand went to her throat. She opened her mouth, but nothing came out. Closed it. Looked at the floor. At the wall. Anywhere but at me. I asked where she was for the last 3.5 hours. She started crying immediately. Tears just streaming down her face. Said she could explain. That it was not what I thought. I told her to explain then, right now, the truth. She sat down across from me, wiped her eyes, took a shaky breath that caught in her throat, admitted she was not working late tonight. Not tonight. Not most nights recently. She was seeing someone. The words hung in the air between us. My chest tightened. I could not breathe, could not move. I asked who. She whispered his name so quietly I almost did not hear it. Ryan. I asked who Ryan was. She explained he was her ex-boyfriend. From college. They dated for 2 years. Broke up 5 years ago when he moved for grad school. He moved back 3 months ago, reached out on social media, asked to get coffee and catch up. She said yes. One coffee turned into lunch. Lunch turned into dinner. Dinner turned into regular meetups. She insisted nothing physical happened. Just talking. Just spending time together. Just reconnecting. I asked how many times. She admitted maybe 20. 20 times over 2 months. 2 or 3 times a week. Always after work. Always when she told me she was working late. I asked about tonight. She said they went to dinner. Just dinner. Talked about old times, about life, about everything. I asked if she told him about me, about our wedding in 6 weeks. She nodded. Said yes, of course. Ryan knew she was engaged. I asked what Ryan thought about that. She looked away. Said Ryan wanted her back, that he made a mistake leaving her, that he realized she was the one. I asked what she told him. She cried harder, said she did not know what to say, that seeing him again brought up old feelings, that she was confused. I stood up, told her she had 6 weeks to figure out if she wanted to marry me. She just spent 2 months secretly dating her ex instead of being honest with me. That was not confusion. That was a choice. She begged me not to do this, said she loved me, wanted to marry me. Ryan was just nostalgia, old feelings, not real. I asked why she lied then. 20 times. 20 separate decisions to deceive me, to choose him over honesty with me. She had no answer. I told her to leave. She panicked, asked where she would go. This was her apartment too. I reminded her Ryan clearly wanted her back. Maybe he would let her stay with him, since she had been spending all her time with him anyway. She grabbed my arm, begged me to let her stay, to talk this through, to work on it. I pulled away, told her we could talk tomorrow, after I had time to think. But tonight, I needed her gone. She packed a bag, crying the whole time, kept apologizing, kept saying it did not mean anything, kept insisting she chose me. I asked if she really chose me. Then why did security footage show her getting into Ryan's car tonight? Laughing. Happy. She had no answer. She left. I locked the door behind her, sat in the silent apartment, surrounded by wedding plans, for a marriage that might not happen. I did not sleep that night. Just sat there replaying everything. Every late night, every text, every excuse, all lies, 20 lies, to see her ex. While planning our wedding, the next morning I called my brother, told him everything. He listened without interrupting. When I finished, he asked what I wanted to do. I said I did not know. He said that was okay. I did not have to know yet. But I needed to be honest with myself about what this meant. Jessica chose to reconnect with her ex, chose to see him secretly, chose to lie repeatedly, chose to prioritize time with him over time with me, chose to keep this going for 2 months while we were planning a wedding. Those were not accidents. Those were choices. I spent the weekend alone. Jessica texted constantly, called from different numbers, showed up Sunday afternoon. I let her in. We sat across from each other. She looked terrible. Eyes swollen, hair unwashed. She explained that she stayed with her sister, that she ended things with Ryan completely, told him she was getting married, that it was over permanently. She begged for another chance. Said she would do anything, therapy, transparency, whatever I needed. I asked why. Why reconnect with him? Why lie? Why risk everything? She said she did not plan it. Ryan reached out. She thought it was innocent, just old friends. But spending time with him reminded her of who she used to be, made her feel young again, excited. She insisted it was not about me. I was not lacking anything. She loved me, wanted our future. But Ryan represented her past, a time before responsibilities, before wedding planning, before real life. She got caught up in that feeling. I asked if she would have told me. Ever. If I had not called security. She looked at the floor. Admitted probably not. She kept thinking she would stop, end it herself. But she did not. I asked if anything physical happened. She swore no. Just dinners, conversations, time together. I asked if she wanted to kiss him, if she thought about it. She cried, said yes, she thought about it. I asked if she thought about leaving me for him. She cried harder, said maybe, in weak moments, when she wondered what if. I told her that was enough. That was all I needed to know. She made a choice every time she saw him, every lie, every secret dinner, every moment she considered leaving me. And now I was making my choice. I told her the wedding was off. She broke down completely, begged, screamed, promised it would never happen again. I said I believed her. It would not happen again with Ryan, but it would happen again with someone else. Someday, when life got hard or boring or overwhelming, and I deserved someone who would not. I asked her to move out, gave her 2 weeks. I would stay with my brother meanwhile. She left that afternoon. I called the venue that evening, canceled everything, lost thousands of dollars in deposits. Did not care. Called our families. Most were supportive. A few thought I was being harsh. I said 20 lies over 2 months was not a mistake. It was a pattern. Jessica moved out over the next week, left the ring on the kitchen counter with a note. I threw it away without reading it. It has been 4 months. I have not spoken to Jessica. I heard Ryan did not want her back once she was actually available, that she moved to a different city for a fresh start. I am glad I called that security guard. Glad I drove to her office. Glad I saw the truth with my own eyes before the wedding. One phone call, one drive, changed everything. Saved me from a marriage built on lies. If this story resonated with you, please subscribe